People deluded. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 0. We might as well review the player ratings. Probably the best performance of the season I've seen from us man to a man, because I don't have anything to say on the players' performances. And I mean, even statistically, it makes it more impressive because we almost did an Arsenal to Chelsea. Because I see it personally, I see a lot of similarities with this current Chelsea side of what they're trying to do and previous Arsenal sides, in that wonderfully technically gifted footballers. Everyone wants to play with the ball. Possession is there, not really creating chances, reluctant to really cross the ball. Ultimately, you might have had the same amount of shots in 11. You might have had more passes. Literally, they had about six. In fact, it was 648. Possession was 600. The ball, the passes was 648. Their possession was 65% to our 35. So does that, people, does not sound like Arsenal fans especially? Does that not sound like us a few years ago? So that makes the result even more impressive for me anyways, people, because at the end of the day, we've got a clean sheet that we didn't get in a while. We've got the 3 points. Top 4 dream still alive for some that believe in it. Ultimately, we walked away with what matters. A clean sheet, 3 points, less possession, same amount of shots. And we all saw with the eyes it was a committed performance, man to a man. Chelsea, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but they know what's wrong with them. Only bad thing is Bellerin. I hope it's a fast injury. I mean, it's a quick return from his injury. He returns fast, because it does look bad, man. I don't want to speculate because I'm not a physio and stuff like that. But you know when you just know something, and I'm sure you all knew when it happened on the TV. You just knew he's out, and it presents a dilemma now, because obviously you got Lichtsteiner, he's clearly not at it. Jenkinson divides opinion. Maitland-Niles can do a job there, but we know that's not his thing. Obviously, some players can be forced there. Do we actually get into the transfer market because of that? I'm not sure. But in regards to the player ratings, because I'm delayed now, Leno gets a 9 from me. In fact, I should probably give him a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9 purely because he didn't have that much to do. But I felt he was impressive with his ball playing. He was impressive with speaking with the rest of his back 5. And he did have a couple saves or a couple things he needed to be equal to. And he did. Like I said, it's testament to our defence. They didn't have much to do, but give him a 9, man, to be fair, man. Like, it's a clean sheet against Chelsea as well. So I'm going to be a bit generous on all the players. I think we all agree Koscielny gets a 10. We're all here to mock, not even mock him. You guys know I don't do this mocking thing, but I'm very vocal. I've made a vid saying I don't believe he's at the level to contribute to the team. Evidently, you can see it with his performances and stuff like that. But based on today, with that being said, if that's at the back of his mind, with what fans think about him, obviously the context, we needed to win today. We needed to get something. He led by example. He obviously scored that lovely bit of improvisation with the shoulder, but I don't even care about the goal. Blocks, he took one in the balls as well. Blocks, Koscielny was there, putting his body on the line. Tackling, he was there. Clearances, he was there. Ball playing, he was there. His partner in Socrates as well was there as well. But Koscielny gets a 10 from me, man. Probably the best player on the pitch for me personally, between him and Lacazette. But Koscielny, Socrates gets an 8. Another one I feel was faultless today, to be fair with you, man. I don't feel he did much wrong. Obviously, the icing on top of the cake is the assist for his centre-half partner's goal with the outside of his boot. But he gets an 8, and it's lovely to see him celebrate and stuff like that, his tackles and stuff. Did feel that in the beginning, though, first 5, there was a couple incidences I was thinking, stop getting physical, stop pulling these players' shirts, please, because the Premier League refs will do you for that. But yeah, man, good performance by my guy Socrates. I got a lot of time for him. Kohler gets a 7. Would have gave him an 8. Just feel obviously everybody dropped off a tiny bit in the second half, and it became a better defensive performance in the second half versus in the first half. It was, but it was more leading by example, bit between our teeth, fiery, committed, passionate, all of these sort of things that we want. So I can't really fault the team. But I feel 7's cool. In fact, I'm going to give Kohler an 8 because he remained a constant threat going forward. He could have done better with his decision making, but I feel he was at it. He was physical today, and 8's a good thing for him. Gonna give Bellerin a 7 as well. In fact, you know what? I'll give Bellerin an 8, man. I'll give Bellerin an 8. He got an assist. He did well. It's unfortunate about his injury. I'll give him an 8. I'll give Xhaka a 7. He probably could get an 8. I actually don't feel he started off very well. I felt he started off with good, smart fouls and stuff like that, but I felt he needed a while to get going. When he did, I feel he done all right, man. Many people would disagree. Many people will scapegoat the man, even though we've won. But 7's a good result. I'm going to give Guendouzi a 7 as well. Feel he was good today as well. Just something's just telling me an 8's a bit too much. But I feel he had a good performance today. He was very mature with the ball today. Wasn't losing it and stuff like that and being immature. Was getting a lot of smart fouls. Was doing a lot of smart fouling. And yeah, it was a mature performance from him today, man. And it's nice to see. So he gets an 8 for me, man. I'm going to give him an 8 rather than a 7 like Xhaka. Torreira, do you know what? I'm torn between a 7 and an 8 for Torreira because I feel he was his usual self today. But I feel in the second half, like Kohler, he kind of stepped off. But I'm going to be cool, man. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm actually going to give Ramsey a 7, though, man. I really should probably give him an 8, but I did feel he kind of went a bit quiet out of all the midfielders. He probably was the quietest in the second half. But I feel we can't underestimate his pressing. First half, all credit for him, man. That pressing he was doing with Jorginho, and if it wasn't marking Jorginho, helping Lacazette and Aubameyang, can't go unnoticed. So he gets a 7, man. It could be an 8, but I feel I'm being generous, but I can't be too generous. People might say, how can Ramsey get a 7 and Aubameyang an 8? But I feel he deserves it, man. I feel there's been big games, especially in games where he hasn't scored and he can't really have any fault. And yes, he missed that tapping early on in the game. It could have been a different game if he scored that, for better or worse. But I feel today he put in a good performance. He's there. What was it? First half, Dave was nervous. There was one incident. Just by chasing him down, he fashioned an effort for himself. You see him there making slide tackles on whoever it was in our box. I don't want to see that again because I was thinking, is the ref going to point, going to blow and stuff like that? But he put in work today, man, defensively. Not just him, Lacazette as well. And 8's a respectable thing for Aubameyang. Lacazette gets a 9 from me, people, man. He put in work today. I mean, he obviously scored. From the off, he was at it. Can't understand how he wasn't allowed to stay on the pitch. Tactically, I get it with how, obviously, how we were trying to move in the second half. But I felt Lacazette was quality today, man. He really relishes big games. He's a real technical-based player, technically gifted player. I've got a lot of time for Lacazette, man, to be honest with you. Nice to see him in double figures. Let me just a quick count, people, to see if that's actually the 11. I think it is. Laurent Koscielny, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's the 11. So yeah, people, I feel on one hand, all of them could get 9s and 8s and stuff like that, to be fair. But the ratings I'm giving aren't bad ratings. These are good results, people. And it was a good result from the team today. I mean, the ratings don't mean nothing. It's a spotless performance, really and truly, man to a man. It was a terrific performance from the boys, man. I feel Iwobi, when he came on, he was alright, so I give him a 7. On another day, 6, but I'm feeling a bit gracious. Maitland now, same logic, 7. Nice to see he took one for the team with Alonso doing that eye gouging stuff. I hope you tackled him and gave him a little firm one and left something there. Don't feel El Nene was really on the pitch to do anything of note for me to rate him on. Considering he was almost in the 10 row, I got to think, why did you bring on Mesut Ozil? But clearly the mind games are still persisting in that incident with Unai Emery and Ozil. Or there might be something us fans don't even know what's going on, but it is what it is. In regards to Arsenal's 2-0 victory against Chelsea, though, people, that's my player ratings anyways, people. So I'm going to get out of your hair. That being said, I'd love to hear yours. So, yeah, man, thank you and them things. So let me get out of your hair. People, deluded, I'm out.